Welcome viewers to this session. This session we will be going to discuss about the Samkhya philosophy. While discussing Samkhya philosophy, few points that you should know and also remember. There are many words that I have written in expression form. You find there is a mark in a different way that generally is not found in English. This is a Sanskrit literature, therefore to pronounce correctly there is some mark. For example, if you say that Vedanta, when you say Vedanta, when you say da will come, then da will be there, and above a there is a line. And while I will be going through the slides, I will be telling you that how it has to be written in a Sanskrit form, so that the Sanskrit language will get different from the English language. It can be easily marked that this is a Sanskrit language. Okay, so starting with this Samkhya philosophy, that I would like to again remind you that the first class we had discussed about the orthodox system, and also we have discussed that Samkhya belongs to that orthodox system. That means accept Veda. Samkhya is an older system because the tenets of Samkhya, the doctrine of Samkhya, you find Jainism, Nyaya Vaisheshika, Vedanta, so on and so forth. Therefore, it is assumed that Samkhya philosophy as a school may be one among the other oldest system or oldest school. Samkhya philosophy deals with the existence of the world, the existence of the objects of the world, who is the ultimate reality, and many more issues. Also discuss about the liberation, moksha, ethical life, etc., etc. So today only we will focus the basic understanding of Samkhya, the origin of Samkhya, or the brief history of Samkhya. What are the opinions people has given on Samkhya? What are the scriptures we find in Samkhya philosophy for understanding Samkhya doctrine? Now, I will be first telling you that a brief history about Samkhya schools, that how Samkhya schools comes to the existence. As I said, Samkhya philosophy belongs to the orthodox system. That means it accepts the Vedas. It also believes the existence of Vedas. It is the oldest among other Indian philosophical systems because the roots we find in Vedas. The doctrine of Samkhya philosophy are found in Bhagavad Gita, in Mahabharata, in Upanishads, and henceforth it is considered as one among the other oldest system. In addition to that, you find basic tenets of Samkhya in various schools in some or other form. In Vedanta also you find people are talking about Samkhya, while they will be giving the reference to any of this issue, they will be quoting the Samkhya philosophy. It simply means that if in that time also Samkhya philosophy developed, or there is Samkhya philosophy already emerged, henceforth people are able to give the quotation from Samkhya. And the roots of Samkhya find in Vedanta, and therefore there will be no false way of claiming that Samkhya is a very, very new school. If you say so, then your claim is not a correct one. But if you say so, this is one among the other oldest system, then what you are claiming is a correct one because there is a proof behind that. So this is a brief about Samkhya. Now we will see what are the opinions on Samkhya, how Samkhya comes to the existence, when it comes to the existence, and who is the really founder of Samkhya. Opinion on Samkhya philosophy. Some says that Kapila is a sage or a Rishi, is the founder of these schools. Kapila is a sage or a person, is a Rishi in that time, has written a script known as Samkhya Sutra. When I said Samkhya, you can mark that Sa. When the pronouns of Sa, above the A there is a mark. And when I say San, when there will be no pronunciation, then above M there is a full stop. Right? This says that this is a Sanskrit, this is Samkhya. This is a correct way of pronouncing the Indian philosophical words. So Kapila is a Rishi, has written the script known as Samkhya Sutra. In ordinary, you can say that in that sutra you find the principles of Samkhya, the doctrines of Samkhya, that how Samkhya philosophy developed, what are the things we find in Samkhya, what are the prescription you find in Samkhya, how Samkhya really helps to give some kind of prescription to the societal life, and also tells to the people the existence of the world, the existence of the objects, the existence of the human life in this earth. So all these things putting together that you find in Samkhya Sutra developed by Kapila. After the script development, slowly people read that who has a knowledge on Sanskrit literature. Then there are some commentaries comes up. Then there are some interpretation, different interpretation, because different people read that, depend on their background, depend on their understanding, depend on their cultural educations and also religion. They understood the things in a different way, though it is written only one form. However, after reading, they have reflect their comments on this scripture, ancient scripture, and their scriptures they have given a different name. Among all these commentaries on this Kapila's work, you find Ishwar Krishna as a person. His commentary is considered one of the best commentary on Samkhya Sutra, which is developed by Kapila. Now there are other persons also interpret the Samkhya Sutra in a different way. They also thought that the principle governed, the principle written in the Samkhya Sutra by Kapila, not necessarily the correct interpretation. And henceforth, they considered that sutra, the meaning of the sutra, the principle of the sutra, but different in their own way, and make the people to understand the sutra in a different way. That means there is a one sutra having a different interpretation, and there are few commentaries that imposed on that Samkhya Sutra, so that these things are get developed slowly. And at the last, there are Samkhya scholars. Now they come to a conclusion that these are the things are correct way of interpreting the Samkhya Sutra, and these are things are not correct way of interpreting Samkhya. In other words, there are many people misunderstood Samkhya Sutra by understanding in their own way. But the scholars who work on it and comment on some of the sutra by saying that please do not understand the Samkhya Sutra in this interpretation. The interpretation you should understand in another way, and all the interpretation they have mentioned in their commentary. Now, commentaries and interpretation of Samkhya philosophy, you find Ishwara Krishna is a person written the Samkhya Karika. That's the best interpretation and commentary you find in Samkhya philosophy. Then there are a few other scholars also has their interpretation and commentary on the Samkhya Sutra. Among those, Gaudapada is written Samkhya Karika Bhasya. Here you can mark it. When I say Samkhya, it's a Sa. When I Sa, then above A there is a mark. When I say San, when there is a N pronunciation, no pronunciation, there is also a mark above M. When I say Karika, since it is a Ka, then above A there is a mark. In that way you have to read it. It's a Sanskrit literature. So Gaudapada is another scholar in Samkhya system, developed a script known as Samkhya Karika Bhasya. Also he has mentioned some commentary as well as interpretation of Samkhya Sutra in a different way. Vachaspati Mishra also developed a script known as Samkhya Tattva Kumudi. In that scripture, he has mentioned also some commentaries on the Samkhya Sutra. Among others, the Vijnana Bhikkhu, another scholar, also written Samkhya Pravachana Bhasya. There, he truly commented the Kapila's Samkhya Sutra by stating that let other people should not misunderstood Samkhya philosophy. Samkhya philosophy is an older system, has a valid argument on everything to understand about the worldly affairs. If you misinterpret or misunderstood, then the whole contribution of Samkhya will get diluted. It will be misunderstood. Henceforth, Samkhya philosophy loses its own existence. Therefore, all these scholars after Samkhya Sutra developed by Kapila, they try to understand in their own way in a positive approach. And if something is written in a wrong way or interpreted in a different way, they correct it further in the proceeding time. In this way, Samkhya philosophy developed. So this is a brief about Samkhya. Now, continuing to this, some says that Samkhya derives from the word Samkhya. Samkhya, as you know that, is a number. Samkhya in Sanskrit stands in English as a number. Numbers say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What they mean is that when some says that Samkhya is a system or a school or a philosophy derives from the word Samkhya, what they mean is that the system, the school concerns for providing the right knowledge and understanding of reality Reality means the state of affairs of the world, the objects that you find about the world, by specifying the number and nature of the ultimate constituent of the universe. What they say is that those who claim that the term Samkhya philosophy derived from the word Samkhya, means number, means they say that Samkhya philosophy talks about the numbering, that how many objects exist in this world and what is their use of their existence, and how do we know that how many things exist, because there are many things such as different features, different characteristics, different shapes, different sizes, different figures, different colors. How can we know that how many objects exist in the world? However, Samkhya philosophy claims that the world is a combination of manifestation of different objects. The world is a constitute by the different objects or conglomeration of different objects. Also said that different facts happening in this world due to different objects and their different movement. Now question arises, those who believe that Samkhya deals with all the objects of the world and the existence of all the objects of the worlds, then they can prescribe that Samkhya is systems derived from a number or Samkhya. That means always they bother about how many objects exist in the world, what is the real cause of the world, how many selves exist in the world, who is the real God, whether God is one or God is more than one. So it's altogether numbering. Another group also believes that Samkhya is a system or Samkhya is a school, means a perfect knowledge. Samkhya is a school, is a perfect knowledge. What they mean here is saying that the Samkhya system describes or expresses about the worldly affairs in a very perfect, orderly manner. So therefore, whatever they say about the world, it's a perfect knowledge. Therefore, they simply believe, or without any hesitation, they believe that Samkhya talks about the perfect knowledge. Samkhya deals with the perfect knowledge, and henceforth, if we understand Samkhya philosophy, we can understand the world in that spirit, so that we can acquire the perfect knowledge about the existence of the objects of the world, facts of the world, and events happening in this world. So these are the two groups that you find generally given their opinion on the existence of Samkhya philosophy and where Samkhya philosophy derives. Now we'll discuss about the metaphysics. After a brief history and the opinion on Samkhya, now we'll discuss on metaphysics. As you know, the term metaphysics is to be understood in the spirit of existence. Metaphysics means the science of existence. That what is the real cause for the existence of ultimate reality? What is the real stuff to create the whole world? Who is the responsible for creating the whole cosmos? What is the real issue involved for creating all the objects in the world in a different order and different functions? There are many things, many objects, many facts in this world, and they are existing in their own way with a different nature, different shape, different sizes, different characteristics, different features, and different purposes. They are used in a different purposes. Question arises, what is the real cause behind all this existence? Who has created all this existence? Or is it just an accident? Like a dream, you see something happening which is not a real. Is it the case that we can say that by accident the world exists? If not so, then what is the argument behind that? Saying that the world exists in a proper order and many fold of objects find in this world. So this is all about the metaphysics. While discussing all the things by Samkhya system, they accept dualistic realism. What they mean is that when say that dualistic, they believe two things, therefore they are dualistic. The two things are, one is Purusha, another is Prakruti. The Prakruti is a matter, the Purusha is known as self. So since they believe the two doctrine responsible for the whole creation of the objects of the world, the whole creation of the existence of our livelihood, the existence of the facts that happening. So therefore, they are known as dualist. Why there is a realism? Because they also believe that like a spirit, the matter also exists. When they say that matter exists, that means they are giving the equal importance of this matter as well as the self, which is not perceived. which is only inferred. So now it will be clear for you that why Sankhya philosophy known as dualistic realism. They are dualistic because they accept the two doctrines. One is Purusha, existence of Purusha, and another is the existence of Prakriti. They are realism because they emphasizes on the existence of matter in this earth, in this cosmos. Now you can see my points that the Sankhya is regarded as dualistic realism. They are dualistic just because of they accept the doctrine of existence of Purusha and Prakriti, and they consider this Purusha and Prakriti are the two ultimate realities of the universe. They are realism because both matter and spirit are equally real for them. Matter here understood as a Prakriti and spirit is understood as a Purusha. They also accept that there is not only one Purusha, but there are many Purusha, there are many selves exist in this world, and henceforth we find different selves, different size of the different animals living in this earth. They also equally emphasize that matter exists. Without matter, nothing can be created. That means without a particular cause, nothing, without a particular stop, nothing can be created. Whatever we see, if you consider this is an effect, there must be a cause behind this. If I myself as an effect, then my cause will be my parents. If my parents will be a cause, then the effect will be their parents. In the same way, if any objects exist in this world, there might have cause behind this. There is a iron rod. You say that the cause will be iron, the metal iron. There is a wooden chair, then the cause will be the wood or the tree. So in this way, we find cause and effect relation. That Sankhya philosophy intentionally and very logically, analytically argues that theory of causation exists, because what we see in this world is just an effect, and if it is effect, there must have a cause. Without cause, there cannot be any existence of effect. And since effect exists in the form of object, in the form of fact, in the form of event, there must be a cause behind that. It is a wise person who will be finding out what is the real cause behind all this existence. So therefore, you find that in their own analytical argument, while describing the existence of the world, they purposefully establish the theory of causation, which is known as Satkaryavada. That means, in each effect, cause will be there, or every cause must have an effect. Every effect precedes the cause, and cause forwarded the effect. This is the way cause-effect relation they establish. Now, they also, while accepting the plurality of self, they are saying that different animals have a different size, different shape, different color, different way of behaving towards the nature. Henceforth, there are different selves you find in different animals, reptiles or objects of the world. Now, for them, Purusha and Prakriti are radically different from each other, like subject and object. Now, I am explaining this point in an elaborate way so that you can understand in a true spirit. When I am saying that subject and object are two different components. Subject means you, me, X, Y, Z, all this. Consider as a human being. We are subject because we vary from each other from various grounds. We vary from each other from religion, from sex, from age, from understanding, from bodily sizes, from our various postures also. We vary from each other, right? Therefore, we are subject. But when we all together identify a particular thing as it is, then this is the objective approach. That means if all of us we find a water bottle is a water bottle, then this is an objective approach to that object water bottle. Therefore, what is object, this is commonly agreed. But what is subject, which is not commonly agreed. This is different from person to person, individual to individual. Even it also varies from time to time and place to place. Even one person have a different opinion on a particular object in a different time, in a different place. So therefore, this is subjective approach. But when irrespective of time, place and person, you consider an object as it is with a particular name or identifying that object as it is, then this will be considered as an objective approach. So henceforth, object cannot be a subject and subject cannot be an object. Objective approach towards an object cannot be considered as subjective. In other way, inversely, if you say that, well, there is a subjective approach towards an object, you cannot consider it as an objective approach to that subject. So this is the difference between object and subject. Now similarly, Samkhya philosophy argues that Purusha and Prakriti, these two components, are the ultimate cause for the whole creation of this world. However, these two are radically different from each other. Purusha cannot be Prakriti and Prakriti cannot be Purusha. However, when Purusha and Prakriti comes together, try to join together, then evolution starts. Now we will be discussing what is the real mystery behind this. The evolution starts when Purusha and Prakriti comes together, and how beautifully Samkhya philosophy argues the mixture of Purusha and Prakriti and how they come close together to create the whole world. And while creating the world, they are creating different objects of the world. While there are different objects, therefore you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and henceforth. This is the result. Some people believe that Samkhya philosophy derives from the word Samkhya, that means number. That means Samkhya philosophy always deals or talks about the number. If there are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc., number exists, it is because of the counting of the objects. The number itself doesn't have any existence if it is not correspond to the objects or any of these facts or state of affairs of the world. If I say 4, 4 doesn't have any meaning if I won't say it's a 4 tables, 4 chairs, 4 dusters, 4 pens, 4 peoples, or 4 human beings, or 4 females, etc., etc. So there is a word or number always attached to its object. Henceforth, the number gets its own meaning. Otherwise, the number itself has no meaning. In this way, Samkhya describes in his own philosophy. Now, a subject can never be the object. Similarly, an object can never be the subject. This is the way they distinguish Purusha and Prakriti. They say that Purusha has a different features, Prakriti has a different features. However, Purusha and Prakriti join together in some point, and henceforth this evolution starts. And now we will be discussing what is really Purusha and what is really Prakriti in our case. While they are discussing that Samkhya is always stating or giving emphasis on Purusha and Prakriti and saying that every effect must have a cause. If a particular object created in this world, then there must have a cause. And since there is an effect, there is a cause. And if you find something is a matter, then there will have an effect. And while it will be transferred to the effect, some efficient cause has to be required. What is that efficient cause? Somebody has to be design it properly. The matter itself cannot be transferred to the effect. If you consider matter as a cause, it cannot itself or accidentally transfer to the effect, or cannot produce any effects accidentally. To produce a particular effect, we need an efficient cause. That means somebody has to design in a particular way for a particular purpose. So therefore we find material cause, efficient cause, and its final cause. Final cause is an effect, material cause is a matter, and the efficient cause would design it for a particular purpose. So for a different purpose, there is a different design, and henceforth there are different objects exist in this world. So this is the basic understanding of Samkhya philosophy, and Samkhya philosophy argues in this way the existence of the objects in this world. While arguing this, there are many questions people ask Samkhya that if you say so, then these are the questions followed that you can find on my slides. What is the ultimate cause of an object? Because you find there are different objects. So if there are different objects, then there is a different cause for this. How can you say that there is only one ultimate cause known as Purusha and Prakriti? There are two causes, Purusha and Prakriti. If this is so, then you tell me what is the real cause of Purusha and Prakriti? If Purusha and Prakriti is an effect, then what is the real cause for behind this? So therefore they claim, what is the ultimate cause of an object? What are the constituents of the universe? Because if everything moves in a particular order, if everything finds in a coherent way, everything also has a different functions in a different place and different proportions, then what is the real constituents, and what, or you can say, what are the real constituent of the universe? Can we say only the one cause behind all this creation, or we can say there are different causes? If we say different causes, then what are the responsible for these causes? Can we say that these causes are happened accidentally, or it's in a mystery form? We cannot say in a mystery form. If we say that, then our argument will be weak. The third question posed to the Samkhya is that what is the ultimate stuff of which various objects of the world are made? That means if you believe that there are various objects exist in this world, then what are the real issues behind this? Why it is created? Who created? How can you consider this is a cause? And what is the issue if I consider a particular cause as an effect? And how can you identify this is a cause but this is not an effect? So all these questions posed to the Samkhya. After Samkhya developed his theory, the Kapila, the Samkhya Sutra, all these people worked on that, the scripture, and also try to comment on that, so that the understanding will be getting much filtering, and henceforth you will get the true interpretation what really Samkhya meant for that, what really Samkhya intended to write the scriptures. That will come out without misunderstanding Samkhya philosophy in a different way. These are the questions posed to the Samkhya. The first questions that tell me or please explain what is the real cause behind the whole creation. Second, what is the ultimate cause? I am the cause of my parents, parent is the cause of their parents, then what is the real cause, what is the ultimate cause, which cannot be further assumed or inferred that somebody another cause for the creation of that cause. If you say that, in other words, Purusha and Prakriti, these two are the ultimate cause, then you tell me that people are asking to the Samkhya system that please tell us that what is the real cause for Purusha and Prakriti, where this Purusha Prakriti comes, and if they are the ultimate cause, how they become creates whole universe in a different way. Is it possible for the two ultimate cause responsible for the whole creation? Because you find solid objects, you find liquid objects, you find different objects in different forms. How can you think that these two ultimate cause or the two cause responsible for the whole creation which is in a diversified way? Now, responding to these questions, Samkhya says that Prakriti is the ultimate cause of all creation, such as mind, senses, intellect, body, objects, etc. They said that when they say that Prakriti, they said that Prakriti is eternal, Prakriti is all pervading, Prakriti is neither created nor destroyed, it is beyond the creation, beyond the destruction. So therefore, it has a power to create even the subtle elements like mind, intellect, ego, ahankar, because that is cannot be perceived, like a table, chair, duster, pen, etc., etc. But Prakriti is responsible for creating all this, because Prakriti is a cause which is an eternal, it is an unending, all pervading, and henceforth you cannot see the Prakriti. You can only infer the Prakriti through its existence, through its effect. The effects are found in the form of objects of the world, or effects of the world, or events that are happening in this world. So therefore they claim that Prakriti is responsible for the creation of both gross objects like table, chair, human beings, animals, etc., even the subtle elements like mind, intellect, ego, and ahankara. So therefore they claim that Prakriti is the ultimate cause and there cannot be further cause for the Prakriti. Prakriti is the ultimate cause according to Samkhya philosophy. They also observed that every effect must have a cause, which I already discussed with you. Cause and effect are inseparably related with each other. While describing the cause-effect relation, they say that a particular effect must have a particular cause. It cannot be varied. For example, you get oil from a particular oil seed. You cannot get oil from water. You cannot get oil from milk. However, you can get curd from the milk. Can you get the curd from the oil? You cannot get. So therefore, they claim that every effect must have a cause, and these are two inseparably related. That means you cannot at any context you assume, presume, infer, or perceive that this cause has a different effect. If there is a curd, the cause will be the milk. But the curd cannot be produced from oil or water or kerosene or petroleum liquids, right? So these are the way they define that cause-effect relation. The inseparable inherent relation between cause and effect always find for the existence of the whole creation. So that is they known as theory of causation or Satkaryavada. Now, while saying that cause and effect are inseparably related, they said that these two components stand for all sorts of creation in the cosmos. All objects of the world are bounded in the chain of cause-effect relation. Therefore, With this explanation, they said that this is the theory of causation that we are submitting for the understanding of the creation of the whole world, which is known as Satkaryavada. When they established this, the few other schools, both hedonism standpoint or orthodox standpoint, from heterodox standpoint as well as orthodox standpoint, Nyaya Vaisheshika, Vedanta, even Jainism argues towards Samkhya. They are saying that how can you say that this Prakriti and Purusha really cause for the ultimate creation? It is the atom, it is the constituent atom in a different combination they put together, and henceforth we are able to see different objects in this world. It is the ultimate cause will be the atoms. That's why they said that the world is created and the objects are produced due to the combination of material atoms. So for Jainism and Nyaya Vaisheshika, they said that it is because of the material atoms the whole world created in a different purpose. When the world created also created different objects, and the objects created because of the different proportion of the atoms mixture. If there is a different proportion for mixing of the different atoms, you find a different objects. Hence it is a different objects, it has a different purpose, and therefore one object is different from the other. This is the view given by the Nyaya Vaisheshika as well as Jainism, counteracting to Samkhya view. While doing this, Samkhya again replies to Jainism and other schools who counteract his view of theory of causation. They said that, they means Samkhya said here, by counteracting the Jainism and Nyaya Vaisheshika view, they are saying that let assume a situation, or let accept first, atom is the responsible or the sole cause for creation of the whole world, even the objects of the world, which is a gross objects. But can it be responsible for creation of the subtle elements like mind, intellect, your buddhi, your jnana, all this? Is it possible? Can you claim so in an argumentative way, in a logical way, by saying that the atoms in a different proportion helps to create the subtle elements like mind, intellect, etc., etc., which is not perceivable, it is only inferred. Can we claim in that way? Then Samkhya established their theory. They are saying that if you cannot defend my argument, then I am stick to my point, saying that every effect must have a cause precedes to the effect, and henceforth the theory of causation is responsible for the creation of the whole world. You cannot claim that it is because of the ultimate atoms, which are different combination mixture, we create the different objects in this world. Therefore, they stick to their theory known as theory of causation. Samkhya counteracts the view that given by Nyaya Vaisheshika and Jainism, saying that although we can explain gross objects are producing out of material atoms, but can we create subtle elements like mind, intellect, etc. from the material atoms? In this ground, Jainism and Nyaya Vaisheshika get defended. Henceforth, Samkhya established the theory known as Satkaryavada or theory of causation, where he is saying that is the Prakriti and Purusha really the responsible or ultimate cause for the creation of the whole world as well as objects of the world. Further they say, Prakriti is the material and efficient cause of the world creation. Now, let us discuss about the Prakriti. What is really a Prakriti and how to understand the Prakriti? Now you can understand that what is Samkhya's standpoint for claiming the existence of the world and the objects that exist in the world. While saying that Prakriti is both efficient as well as a material cause for the whole creation, they have to establish that. What is a Prakriti for them? They have to define that. Because when they define that to Nyaya Vaisheshika and Jainism, other schools immediately ask, please define what do you mean by Prakriti? Because it seems to be a vector if you do not define what is a Prakriti. Then Samkhya try to describe the Prakriti. Here I would like to highlight in a brief way what is a Prakriti, but I will be describing more about Prakriti when the session will come for a Prakriti. I will specify it for a session for Prakriti. There I will describe what is the Samkhya contribution to establishing the doctrine known as Prakriti, and also further claiming how Prakriti is the real cause or ultimate cause for the existence of the objects of the world. Now, in a very brief, what they said is that Prakriti It is the principle or it is the doctrine for the cause of both subtle and gross products of the universe. In other words, Prakriti is responsible for creating the subtle elements such as mind, intellect, and also gross objects like chair, table, etc. in the universe. Now, being the ultimate cause, because there is no further cause, or Prakriti cannot be considered as effect. So, it is only the ultimate and the last cause. So, therefore, it is called ultimate cause. Being the ultimate cause, it itself is uncaused. That means it cannot be considered as an effect. It is an eternal. You find everywhere Prakriti. It is all pervading. It is unperceived. That means when they say that Prakriti must have all these supernatural features, then only we consider Prakriti as an ultimate object. It is Prakriti who really responsible for creating the whole cosmos, because it has a power known as eternal. Ever, it is all pervading. That means in every object you find the element of Prakriti. It is unending. It cannot be destroyed. Neither it can be beginning, because it cannot be perceived, because it is the ultimate cause. It is only to be inferred. What you can perceive is the gross objects, or you can infer the subtle objects. That is their effect. The real cause cannot be perceived, because it is so important, so minute, but however in the same time it eternally exists. It exists everywhere. How can you see every object at the same time? If you cannot see so, then how can you see the real cause which really creates the whole objects in a different way? Therefore, they claim that Prakriti is the real cause or the ultimate cause for creating the whole universe. While saying that Prakriti is responsible for creating the whole universe or objects of the world, they further claim that do not understand Prakriti as same as objects, because objects here is an effect, whereas Prakriti is the ultimate cause. However, the element of Prakriti is found in all the objects, because it is the effect of that cause. So therefore, they say that object is distinguished from Prakriti. Object can be destroyed, object is dependent, object is relatives. However, Prakriti is far or beyond the destruction, beyond the creation, beyond the dissolution. It is eternal, all pervading, ubiquitous, and also it is very minute, and in the same time it has a very large. Therefore, everything can be created from it. So it has to be only inferred, but it cannot be perceived. Therefore, do not understood that Prakriti is same as objects. Prakriti is certainly higher than the objects. Objects are effect, whereas the ultimate cause is the Prakriti. And because of the Prakriti, we find different objects with a different color, different sizes, and different shapes for the different purposes. Therefore, in that way they establish Prakriti. We will be discussing about the Prakriti and the existence of Prakriti when we will be devoting a session for existence of Prakriti by Samkhya schools. There we will be claiming that how Samkhya argued for the existence of Prakriti and what is the valid argument for that. And there are other schools arguing against the existence of Prakriti, which is said by the Samkhya, and how Samkhya defends them by saying that we stick to our point, that is known as Satkaryavada, or theory of causation. That means a particular cause has a particular effect, and the effect proceeds from the cause. A particular cause cannot have multiple effects, and a particular effect cannot get from the various causes. This is the standpoint of Samkhya philosophy, to understand Prakriti and also to understand the creation of the whole universe. Now we will be seeing that Prakriti, since creating the whole universe, creating the objects of the world, it has a three components or three gunas. The gunas are known as Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. When I say Sattva, Samkhya said that the color of Sattva is a quality, component is white. The Rajas color is red. It's a different features, different quality. And Tamas is color is black. Depending on the color, now we can infer that what should be their characteristics. That now we are not going to discuss, but just for your anxiety, or you may be interested to know that Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, they are finding in a tranquility in Prakriti. When Prakriti comes to the Purusha, all these components, elements get vibrates, and different combination they will mix with each other, and henceforth an object produced. Because of the different combinations, you find different objects, and henceforth the purpose of the different object gets differs. So it is Prakruti, and which has three components, three gunas known as Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, responsible for creating the whole objects of the world. When there will be no creation, these three gunas find in a tranquility, in a very peace way. But when there is a vibration, when Purusha comes to the Prakruti, then there is a vibration in Prakruti, and as a result, these three gunas mixture in a different proportion, and henceforth the objects created. Now, you might have anxiety to know what is that Purusha, so that when Purusha comes, why Prakruti gets distorted or why Prakruti gets vibrates. Therefore, these gunas also lose their equilibrium. So now we will be describing what is a Purusha. Now, knowing a Purusha, there are many Purusha. As I said, Samkhya believes there are many Purusha. For them, this is not only one Purusha. However, there is an ultimate Purusha. For them, there is an ultimate Purusha who creates another Purusha. Purusha is eternal for them, is the unborn, the subject, the knower. Purusha is an enjoyer, and Prakruti gives fruits to enjoy. Because the whole world is created because of Purusha and Prakruti. It's a male and female. Purusha is a male and female is a Prakruti. So when Purusha and Prakruti comes together, it is said that the Prakruti being a female gets high. Therefore, all these gunas of Prakruti get distorted or mixed up in a different proportion, and henceforth an object created. To describing Purusha, Samkhya philosophy says that Purusha is also eternal. It's an enjoyer, the knower, but never as a cause for creation of the universe. It may be considered as an efficient cause. It helps the Prakriti to create the universe. Now, Purusha is eternal, unborn, all-pervading, the subject and the knower. That is the definition of Purusha. Now, we will be describing further when we will be devoting another sessions for Purusha. That how Samkhya explains in their theory to establishing the doctrine known as Purusha, which is the cause for the universe, cause for the creation of the whole universe, and how it helps Prakriti to create the different objects in this world. Further, by explaining Purusha, they say that it is neither a body, nor the mind, neither the ego, nor intellect. That means all these subtle elements, it is not the case in Purusha, but it is beyond all these subtle elements. It is neither body, nor mind, neither ego, nor intellect. When you say body, it is a gross element. When you say mind, it is a subtle element. In case of ego and intellect, both are subtle elements. Therefore, it is claimed that, or it is inferred that Purusha is beyond the creation and destruction, and also beyond the gross elements as well as subtle elements. However, being the ultimate cause, being an ultimate cause responsible for creation of the whole objects in the world, and also it helps the Prakriti to create the whole objects in this world. Purusha is a pure consciousness. It is not pseudo consciousness. That we all human beings have pseudo consciousness. That means when we die, the consciousness leaves the body and goes somewhere. But the Purusha is a self-consciousness. It's never ending. It's unending. The self, the Atma lies in that Purusha. It is the Purusha responsible for the different creation. It's the part of Purusha that we are living in this earth as an animal. We are talking. We have a life. We have a movement. All this. So, but the real cause is that the Purusha. The Purusha is a supernatural power. It's a pure consciousness. That means that consciousness cannot be seen. It's only to be realized or inferred, like a Prakriti. So it is a male. You can consider it's a male and Prakriti is a female. There are many analogies you find in Samkhya philosophy that people consider Purusha as a male and Prakriti as a female. And when Purusha comes to the Prakriti, Prakriti gets high, and therefore the all equilibrium of Sattva, Raja, Tama get distorted, and henceforth different proportion of these three gunas helps to create a different objects. Now, further explaining Purusha, they say that it is not the substance which is a quality of consciousness. Rather, it is the pure consciousness. They are saying that we the human beings if you consider as a substance, then we have a quality like consciousness. Therefore, we think, we perceive, and we have a sense organs. But this Purusa is a pure self-consciousness. It is the basis of all knowledge. Continuing further, they said that Purusa is the supreme power. It is the Purusa which is supreme power, and all power that you find in all animals as well as non-animals, that is a part of that power. For example, you sit in a chair. Chair has to be placed in a particular floor. Chair has its own strength, so it's a power. Human being has a power. Animal has a power. Power to move, power to think, power to eat. Everything has a power. Understand the sense organs. Everything is a power. So this is a pseudo power, or a part, very minute power. Whereas the Purusa is the self power. It is supreme consciousness or self consciousness. It is beyond the pseudo consciousness. That's what is the eternal. It is the enjoyer, it is the knower. He's saying that it cannot be the object of knowledge. That means when you see a particular object, then you receive a knowledge because you have a pseudo consciousness. But Purusa is beyond that. Since Purusa helps to create all these objects of the world, all these facts of the world, all these events that are happening in this world, it need not require any consciousness to identify object. It is beyond that object. Therefore, it doesn't require any objective knowledge to identify a particular object. That's why it said that it cannot be the object of knowledge. It is, since it's a pure consciousness, it is beyond that. It has all knowledge. So it doesn't require neither any subjective knowledge nor any objective knowledge. It is beyond the perception, the inference, the comparison, the testimony, the all sources of knowledge. It is the eternal, it is the all pervading, and also you find everywhere in this earth, in all components of the world. Now, it is formless. Since it is eternal and find in every place, in every object, therefore it is a formless. Because if it is a form, then you should find in a particular place, either you can perceive or you can inform. Since it is a formless, you can only has to be inferred or only has to be realized, but it cannot be perceived. And since it is a formless, therefore it is an eternal. It is free from destruction and dissolution. What it means? It cannot be destroyed like an object, but the creation by him, like we all human beings, animals, will die after some time. There is an age, from age 1 to age, say, particular age, 60, 70, 80, 100, and go ahead with the numbers. However, a person cannot live in this earth forever. So therefore, a birth, there is a death. But in case of Purusa, it is ever pervading. It is all pervading, it is eternal. It has neither birth nor death. It is beyond the creation, beyond the destruction. Because it is the ultimate cause responsible for the whole creation. So this is the brief about the Purusa. We will be discussing, elaborating more by giving the Sanskrit shloka that you find in Samkhya Karika, developed by Kapila and others commentaries by other scholars. That we will be describing what is the real interpretation of existence of Purusa by the Samkhya philosophy. At the last they said that it is because of Purusa and Prakruti the whole world created, the objects, different objects of the world created. So I hope now this is the brief about the Samkhya philosophy, and now or you might have anxiety to know what is Purusa, Prakruti and evolution. Now we will be discussing this theory of causation, Purusa, Prakruti, evolution in a different sessions, and also at the last we will conclude that how Samkhya believes on the liberation or Mukhya part. These are the discussions for today's class. Thank you so much.